So here we are again. Welcome back. It's been a while, except for the video I just recorded, obviously. I've gone for 4 teams this time. I did say I wasn't sure if I'd do 4 or 5. 4 seems like quite a good number. I haven't decided how I'm going to run this yet. I'm either going to do this as a really long save with these 4 teams, where we just stay at these teams, we run it over, say, 20 years, and see which comes out on top. I might do like sort of a competitive journeyman and allow it that the managers can just take jobs as and when they come up. Because obviously, the problem with this is there's only one team that can get promoted. Whichever team gets promoted, that sort of is going to give them a massive advantage in terms of what they can win. Also in terms of recruiting the best players. Although, I guess that it's not that much of an issue because, as you'll see, we will do some competitions at the start of each season where we'll do the 4 teams in a league, and you'll see that like usually the gap between the teams isn't that big. Usually that they can all beat almost any other team, and they can all get unlucky, get champed, whatever you want to call it. I'll show you the teams for now. So we've got Mr. 343 at Leigh. I've put everyone. I thought I'd put everyone on the transfer list. Obviously, I haven't put everyone on the transfer list, so I will do that in a second. I thought I'd put them on the transfer list. Everyone at Margate's on the list. Everyone at Stalybridge is on the list. Everyone at Dover is on the list. Dover have got some money, and obviously, on this game, when you start with money, you want to go and sign scouts. Okay, if you're doing scouted only, I'm going to do scouted only because otherwise it just bores me picking the same 5 players every time. Now this is the Lussenhof database, so obviously it's a lot of players that I already know, which is a bit of a pain. But hopefully as the game goes on, we'll find other players that I've not used before. I will. I've got a maximum database on. I will try and pick players that we've not used before where I can, and obviously changing teams quite a lot means that if we do it that way, we'll have players from all over really. I did want to add the 3 teams going up and the different transfer windows, but I'm just too stupid to know how to do it. So you're gonna have to be stuck with this. Teams. So we got 3-4-3 at Leigh, 3-5-2 at Margate, 4-2-4 at Stalybridge, and 5-3-2 at Dover. I think that I'm going to use just the basic formation for each of these, just the 5-3-2, the 3-5-2. I'm not going to use the attacking versions. 4-2-4 is technically an attacking formation because the 2 wingers are pushed right up. The 3-4-3, I need to decide what I'm going to do with the wingers. I don't know if you've ever seen this formation before. I don't know what I'm going to do with the wingers. I'll keep these in. I'll speak about these arrows later on. There's some interesting things that you probably don't know about, that you've not seen about before, so I will talk about that. The last thing, and again this is sort of an intro video as well, because the next time that you see this, there will be the competition between the 4 teams, and it will be a little bit mad because none of the teams will have anywhere near their first choice. So I will record the entire competition. I'll do a league. How many games is that? 3, 2, 1, maybe 6 games. Maybe 6 games. Yeah, I guess 6 games. I'll record all 6 games for your interest if you're interested. But this first season will be like pretty much just random who wins it, and then I'll record the season. I won't record it all. The last thing I'm going to say before I do start this, well, I'm going to stop it and then I'm going to publish this video possibly before the first game. I don't know. Yeah, I'll publish this maybe. See how long it is. We'll pop this video on, and you can tell me if there's anything you're interested in. If you want me to mess around with anything. The one thing I was going to say is in this, and I was watching actually one of the new Championship Manager videos, I take smaller bids for players on more money, and players on tiny money, like these ones, I'm not going to sell them unless I get massive bids coming in. Because one of the big problems is in this game that if you if you're like me and you sell everybody and you get fewer than 12 players and you can't sell anyone else, that really messes you up, especially if you've got a big bid. So I generally keep these cheap players here, like if I don't get a big bid for them, and try to shift the ones on massive wages. The reason is because on this game, wages comes out like some formula about how much you're allowed to spend. So getting rid of the big wage hitters puts you in a much better situation. But yeah, I will see you when the little competition starts. Here we are at the start of the inaugural CM Cup. Margate have played a game for no good reason. I'm going to show you these two teams. We'll play the first two games and then I'll split the video and then I'll show you the next two games. I'm not going to go into much detail about anything really. I'll do that when I show the teams at the start of the season, because these teams are still like sort of taking shape. All players have been found via scouts, so and the same rules as before. I've pretty much tried to have no work permits on, so you can have players from everywhere. It just makes it a bit more interesting for me. So we've got Dover versus Leigh. So we've actually got a spare player here who's a left winger. These are going to be our 3-5-2 team. We got David Williams, Dean Williams on a trade, which was pretty amazing. Really good goalkeeper. We'll watch him have one now. Mark Joseph was the only person that I got that wasn't on a scout search. We managed to get Effiam Williams in a trade as well, in a part exchange for, can't even remember. So yeah, I will go through some of the players. This isn't a full team. We have got quite a lot of money in the bank. All the teams have. We managed to shift off £775,000 worth. I know players like John Elliott. They are decent players. You can keep them. They are good. I got rid of this guy because they had big wages. Yeah, not really much else to say. I will go through some players. I'm probably going to end up showing like a few games when they play each other, start of the season, any big games that come up. These all games are at Dover's ground. If you want to see like the individual instructions, I will show you. But basically, this one's always the passer, this one's always the runner, this one's always the tackler. These people can run with the ball, and then these people can hopefully score goals. So that's Dover, and then this is Leigh playing 3-4-3. This is the passer. This is like, I don't know if this is the best guy to have here, or if Hallows is better to have here. I'm probably not going to keep Hallows. I've got the Riviera kid, who's like coming from somewhere. I think he'll end up playing here because he's got similar to Rodolfo stats, attributes. I will speak a little bit more about this. I have changed arrows from going backwards to going forwards, and again I'll speak about that when we start getting into the season. I don't want this video to be too long, and I'm aware it's already a bit too long anyway. So these two are not first team players. They are just placeholders. This is the entire squad that we've got. Everyone else is on the transfer list. So we're going to do commentary speed of medium. I think that's quick enough, maybe even fast. We'll have a look, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, here's the inaugural game. The inaugural game of the inaugural tournament. So the thing is that I think Dover have generally got the best of the players that we've got. We managed to also pick up Brightwell on a trade, and Brightwell's, I say trade, you know what I mean. Brightwell's an incredibly good player. We have got players that can come in. I think we will just make a few substitutes. I do have a little like rhyme or reason of how I set these up. So that's usually left wing, right wing, passer, runner, tackler, centre forward is generally how I run it. Now obviously I've forgotten who's what. This is my passer, so that goes on for 11, and this is my runner, So that goes on for 17. And then this is harder because like it's this is a really bad formation. Like, let's make no bones about it. It's a bad formation. Robertson starts the team. This is the one that's got the most players from the original team. So Thompson's an original. Thompson's original. Ridings is original. Now Ridings is a better defensive midfielder than an attacking midfielder because of his positioning, but he's a midfielder with low versatility, so he doesn't really play very well here, so he's probably going to come in for Thompson. And then Beckford is terrible, but he came up on a search, and we've got to buy somebody, haven't we? So yeah, obviously being at Dover's ground means it's favourable to Dover. And like I said, I think out of all the teams here, Dover have got the best players, so I'd expect Dover to win the league this season. Because they just have better players. Although the man of the match is a guy that I wasn't even going to save. Your central, one of your defenders, you don't actually need them to make a lot of tackles. You can have them to have anything. Obviously this guy made a lot of tackles anyway. So aggression, bravery. Bravery is really good for heading, aggression is really good for making tackles. So yeah, he did well. Mark Joseph did okay. So we'll go to the next game because I've already got the team set up for you. It'll take a second to get there. Again, I'll show you these players later on. So Margate are the team that are playing my favoured formation 3-5-2. Again, Harrop's an original. Leigh we got in a transfer swap. Weeks we got in a swap. Again, it's the same theory. Braithwaite will end up going. He's decent for this level, but he's not that great. And then Stalybridge Celtic, we've just had somebody come in. Has he come in yet? No. So in this is one that I change it. I don't like a tackling midfielder here. So I have these two have got running or off the ball. This guy's my passer. And this guy generally has running. Not off the ball, just running, dribbling. So run with ball. I just find that if you've got a player here, so you go Pep Salona and you put player here and you play 4-3-3, then this guy could have positioning. I've got 4 players here with positioning, so I use defensive defenders. So if you think of the games that you play, you generally have like 3 players with positioning, 1, 2, 3. So I've got 1 more here, so these can just all do what the hell they want. So second game. I don't know why it just did that. I don't know why it keeps doing that. And then commentary speed, we'll do it on medium again, and we will kick off. So I know a lot of people say like which is the best formation, this formation is better, that formation is better. Realistically, well, I'm going to say this, aren't I? It's going to be about 18-0 to Margate. Realistically, there's not really that much to choose between any of the formations. Like you can do well with any formation. Some positions are just a little bit more overpowered than others, and positions that you think are incredibly overpowered, like the defensive midfielder, actually aren't. It's just that. Jeez, this isn't very good, is it? It's just that they get. If you make a tackle as a defensive midfielder, it's considered as a higher level tackle than somebody that makes a tackle as a fullback or central midfielder. So Leon Smith is now going to come in for Maloney, see if we can do something. And Peterson, I've got him. Great attributes for a winger. Really good attributes for a winger. I might try and retrain him as a winger actually. Jed Murphy's like absolutely not great on this. And then here we can put Harrop on, Retchon. So if they're here, that means I have to start learning who plays in what position, because that's going to be a thing. And then our injured centre forward can come on. And again, I will do more on these players later on. So I would expect for the team that wins this division will either be Margate, who are clearly like significantly better than Stalybridge here, aren't they? So I think this will be like, out of all the seasons that we play, this will be the season where the gaps between the teams are the biggest. Jeez. That was an absolute beasting. This guy came upon a scout search. So, there we go. That's the league standing as it is. And what I will do is I'll do one of these cups every season. We'll do it on the same few days. And over time, you will see like what happens and who wins them. And I think what we'll look at is I'll show you like the evolution of of the teams that win these. Like I said, this is the time when the gap's going to be biggest, because if you get a couple of good players like Margate have got, or Dover have got, then it makes the gap really big. Right, I will see you in the next one.